My Gavanen Melanin, and well met indeed. I am Arakir Galadirthan, the head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer. Welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as the Breelanders. As we are now but 8 turns away from the choice, Mercenary or Dunedain. Some people have suggested that I save just before the choice and then essentially conduct 2 campaigns, one in which we've chosen the Dunedain, one in which we've chosen the Mercenaries. However, this would eliminate any illusion of surprise for anyone who then comes to play as Bree, because you will know exactly what happens on both paths. So instead, we're only going to ruin one path. Now, in terms of what we're doing, we are about to beat Dunland, as I'm sure many of you are aware. Our main army here, led by Captain Cliff, or Cliff, rather, is besieging Byrig, whereupon he'll be attacked by Makar, I have no doubt, and Byrig will then fall in the ensuing battle. Our armies will then merge together and head for Dunyard, passing Heret on the way. See if we can maybe snaffle that. But at the moment, we're at an end turn, so make sure our agents aren't doing anything we don't want them to be doing. You there, you're not doing anything. Where was I sending you? Have we got a mission? No current missions. Let's go up to Lothlorien.
Yes. Tomorrow's journey planned out.
Yes, tomorrow's journey planned out. Now, I've got some interesting bits for you. Information. In terms of modding, big changes are coming. We are going to move ahead with the plan, which I'm very pleased of, and pleased that we've worked out the kinks, courtesy of Lord of Links and Racer for discussing this, bandying it around. And what we're going to implement is a system whereby every rebel nation, every rebel region at the start of the game is going to be owned by a new faction called the Independent Realms. Let's just look at the army that's coming at us. And Chieftain Menthar, their faction leader, has little. But Makar has attacked us and not Menthar, meaning we're going to be flanked a bit. Now, they are going to fight for their absolute lives here because their faction leader is in battle.
We march into battle.
But anyway, these Independent Realms are going to own all of the rebel towns at game start. However, the rebel faction will then just own the roaming bands of mercenaries. Well, excuse me, sorry. The roaming bands of armies. However, the Independent Realms and the rebels will be at war with everyone else as they are at the game start, but they'll be allied to each other. Now, let's just spare a moment for where Menthar is coming from. So Makar is attacking us, and that means Menthar is coming from there, halfway up. So this lower southern section is all free to us, but it's downhill, and that's a terrible idea. So let's go in between them both. Maybe I hate fighting in trees. It totally negates our archer benefit. We could kill Menthar the moment he comes in, and then just hold the others on this hill here. It's cheating, really, isn't it? Fighting downhill is such a bad idea. That's the problem. Gaining any slope advantage you can, which is just here. But in order to kill them all, no. We want to use our archers to the best of their possible ability. I'm throwing the camera around a lot at the moment. I apologise for that. There's a flat plain here. Yeah, let's take them to the bottom corner.
The enemy have
There we
brought
are,
up
as
more
expected.
men.
Right. They don't really have a hill bonus, and we far outrange them. But we are going to, unfortunately, use the, some would say, cheating aspect of using the edge of the map to our advantage. We have an awful lot of range, don't we? All of which is not running away. Good, good, good. All right, you and you are going to be in the line. Merchants, Dunedain merchants. New unit, Dunedain merchants. I jest. And Breelanders. Stop anyone coming along that flank there. Who have we got left then? Cavalry. Oh, we've got quite a lot of cavalry. In fact, we've got an inordinate amount of cavalry. You guys move over here. We'll get you into a flanking position. Right, so whilst the armies will move into position. So the Independent Realms will own all of the rebel towns at game start. They will be at war with everyone. They will, however, have the passive personality. This means they won't do anything. They will sit in their towns and do nothing. They won't be able to actually build any buildings or train any troops. So their starting army is their starting army. And as I say, they'll sit in their towns. They'll do sod all. They will likely get defeated by around about the 30th turn, I imagine, in every single game. And that's intentional. Because the reason we're doing this is to make the rebels active again. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time for one key reason. Every single nation in the game has what's called the last stand script. I've spoken of it at length. When a nation goes down, normally to about 3 towns or less, they get a scripted last stand spawn. And this is normally a 20 strong banner army, or 15 units rather, not 20, 15 unit strong banner army with some good troops in it, and it's essentially the mustering of everything that faction has left in an attempt to stay alive. And I've always liked it, and it helps the AI immensely, especially when they're getting steamrolled by other AI. It just gives them a bit of a boost. However, because the rebels are currently, for ease, we'll say turned off, but that's not really true, but that's what the effect is. They don't do anything. So you could then just, to circumvent this large army, or indeed to just circumvent the armies of that nation, you could just pick their towns from them and not have to fight any field battles. Now, we've tried to make this a bad idea by increasing what's called, I can't remember the name, begins with a D. It'll come to me through the video. So when an enemy army is in your region, that region suffers and its money is decreased because you're basically being raided by this army. I can't remember what it's called. And it's the opposite to, like, glory, and I've just totally forgotten the name. And anyway, we increased the negative effect of this. So when a rebel army was in your region, you'd at least get some sort of impact, at least monetarily. But it just was not enough. So by turning the rebels on, what will happen now is that when a faction is destroyed, any of their captains will all disband, but any of their generals will now join the rebel faction, and they will continue to attack you. So, and it's brilliant because then, for example, Harad. In our backstory of Harad, they are a loose confederacy of tribes, held together by a strong chieftain, Kuzaima, and his then children, offspring, and family. And when you destroy Harad, that wouldn't destroy Harad. The tribes that can still fight would still fight. They just wouldn't do so with the support of their allies, of the other tribes. They'd fight alone, as it were. And this is now reflected in that is what will happen. So if you destroy Harad through regicide, or you take their last towns, their remaining generals will join the rebels, and then they will then seek out the nearest enemy town, which will be your nearest town to where they went rebel, and they'll attack you. So you have to factor those armies in when you defeat the enemy, which is brilliant, and I'm pleased with that immensely. Another point, minor though still an annoyance, is that the Barrow-wights at the moment are supposed to be a threat. They're supposed to make you not want to take Mengelon, because you know you're going to have to face Barrow-wights after Barrow-wight after Barrow-wight. And the Barrow-wights, if anyone has ever actually fought them, are an incredibly strong unit. They are real killers. Like, early Breeland armies would get annihilated by Barrow-wights. But the Barrow-wights at the moment don't do anything, because again, they come into the game as part of the rebel faction, who, as I've already said, are currently turned off. So they spawn in the hills, and then do sod all. So by turning the rebels back on, as I say, we will then see them actually do things. And this is what I'm most pleased at. It will also mean that they ambush armies, and I'm going to add a load more armies dotted around the map. But the rebel armies at the start of the game will roam around and try and attack your towns. And so it's all excellent. However, the independent realms, as I've already said, they will start with the armies that they start with, as it is. They won't build any buildings, because I won't actually give them the option to build buildings. And they won't train any troops, because again, they won't have the option to train troops. So they will never grow any stronger than they are at the game start. And they are just there to defend the towns and the cities. And this is how we're going to do it. That's what's going to come in. So I'm hoping, actually, to do all of that work immediately after ending this video. So if I sound quite chipper, it's because I'm quite excited. I like to learn how to do new things. I like to challenge myself. And part of the reason why I think I've stagnated a bit of late in terms of modding is because I've not been challenging myself. The only things on the to-do list that I can do are all the really mundane, boring things, like creating sprites and doing text at work and doing basic coding in the edu and the EDB. And mercifully, Lord of Links, one of our beta testers, has undertaken a great deal of writing work, which has cut down the need for me to do any of that writing work, and for that I'm eternally grateful. And a lot of the coding now can also be done by Hummingbird, who originally, when he first joined, could only really texture
Continue like
units.
this, we will smash the enemy.
But now it's gone way beyond that, and he's learning coding that he never knew before, and that's also cutting down the stuff that I have to do. And of course, with Racer, with all of the scripting, cuts out much of the scripting that I never really did any scripting, but I did a little bit. But with Racer here now, I do none, other than minor bug fixing that I know how to do. And the Elite Dwarf also now is covering various other bits that I used to do related to settlements. So a lot of the mundane stuff is cut out elsewhere, but I like to do the more big project style things where I can really challenge myself, as I say. Right, now cavalry, run away, because there's an infantry unit coming to block you up. Get your men out of there! Our line will hold. They're all in defensive stance. Our archers are firing off. 10% of the enemy has died. We don't necessarily have a hill, but neither do they, so we've equalised the playing field. Did all the cavalry make it out, or did someone stop and fight? No, they all made it out. Perfect. Then we can conduct the perfect hammer and anvil. Although 10 Dunlending horsemen are hoping to change that. Nah, just run past them. Just run past them, mate. Well, those clan axemen changed their mind at the last moment. Understandably. Now, Chieftain Menthar, are you unique? You were originally the faction heir, weren't you? No, you're. I believe he is these beast slayers over here, because I believe he's the general that starts in Byrig. Yeah, look, there he is. He gets beast slayers as his unique bodyguard. Ah, the lines of Bree arrayed atop the hill as arrows fly overhead as a dark rain of autumn. Now, I can't claim ownership of that quote. I read it today when I was reading The Fall of Gondolin. I've been reading The Fall of Gondolin in... Oh, what on earth is happening here? One of our men has abandoned us, and he's leading the Dunlendings. Alright, now is the time. Don't hit beast slayers. You go straight through. Oh, actually, why don't you go for those huntmen over there? You, 32 of you... do hit those beast slayers, because there's only 32 of you. You can hit those chieftain's bodyguard. You run over there, and you run through. There you go, some clan axemen for you to hit. Pop back in. Why don't you go for the chieftain's bodyguard? You guys pull out. They have shut us off totally. Look, they've shut down our cavalry's potential.
Like this, we will smash the enemy.
By just literally shutting down the back door to their... Like, they've got enough stuff. The beast slayers are chasing us down, the bastards. You can come through. Clan spearmen in the back. You, look, they've made a gap. The idiots have made a gap. Where's our general? Oh, he's dying. Oh. I'm not paying attention. Why didn't you charge them? What on earth have you just done? One, two, three, four, five, six. Brilliant. Our general survived, so... Slightly better charge, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, they're still chasing them down. This bloody triangle formation bugged out clan axeman. Oh, we are winning though. Not in every location, but we are winning.
The enemy are badly bloodied.
See, we won't get...
half their men.
Nobody will rout here. I mean, our cavalry is likely to rout long before they do. Because their general is, of course, their faction leader, and he is very adept. Why are the Dunedain being pushed back? Our 4 axemen are about to break as well. Who still has arrows left in them? You guys do, you guys do. Oh, you gentlemen do. Oh, you've just used them up. There you go, you're all out.
The battle is very much in our
Go and get involved.
Victory will be ours.
It's time to push in and support, men. Doesn't matter what you are now. Archer or nay, your swords need to be out. Putting up there. We'll keep you guys back to capture anyone that routes. And because our cavalry is basically dead. Pull all the cavalry out.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Got him in place. Charges coming. We've got units breaking. Reinforce the line. Excellent. Fresh archers joining the fray. Worse than Bree militia, if that's even possible. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Oh, yeah, this is the new Dunderning bodyguard, isn't it? With the bloody armor piercing and axes. No wonder we're getting smashed. Come and stand in the back there, at least. Is everyone finished? No. Bandobra's archers! Still going. Bandobras! Bandobras! What's that there? 2 Dunderning horse. What's it now? 60 plays 36. They've got Beast Slayers still going. Can't charge Beast Slayers with cavalry. As we learnt last time. And as I went into great detail about, actually. No one is to be defensive anymore. Where can we push through? Here on the right. Let's try and flank. Move up. Keep the Dunedain alive if possible. They're too good. You guys are just getting involved there. In you go. The dwarves. They're sturdy dwarven axes. Charging in the flank. Who are they actually fighting? Farmhand pikemen of all things. Pull out. Let him chase.
The battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
Victory will not be ours until Menthar falls. Balls. Got routing. Our units are routing. Good God, our army is routing. Shiza. Full on charge, all of you. Come on. Why are you routing? We're winning. Their best units are coming in. That's the problem. No, they're not. They're just clan bloody axemen. Come on.
Half our force remains.
Not a single one of them died in the charge. You're bloody lying to me. Four of them died. We got down there 25 Beast Slayers. It's a real gamble. But give him all you have. Where's Menthar? He's right at the front. He's never going to fall. Don't send him in. Alright, they massacred you. As kind of expected. Hit those clan spearmen. You, the largest number. Divert left and hit those clan axemen instead. Oh yes, we got a routing unit! Now, I'd like to get him through to the other side, please. Get him into safety. Even if nothing else, the Dunedain stand strong. Right, there's Beast Slayers over there who are going to give us certain victory. So let's go and Flank the bastards. Send our cavalry round to...
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
We are going to win. There's just too few of them left. And those beast slayers are utterly cut off and surrounded. Yes! Dunedain, you are our freshest and greatest forces now. Get those beast slayers.
The battle is very much in our favor. Victory
Don't run,
will
actually.
be ours.
Save yourselves. Just walk slowly at them. How's our cavalry doing? What else is out here? Ah, look, the only things left really are the generals. Right, you two, go and capture those. Use whatever weapons you can muster. Where is the chieftain's bodyguard that's fighting against us? Oh, he's down to one guy. How did that happen? Oh, brilliant. And gentlemen, your target. Dunedain.
We Dunedain will fight for you.
Damn right you will. The slow, steady march of the Dunedain. As the beast slayers begin to ping arrows in their direction, but it is for naught. These strong men of Numenor shrug the arrows off.
The enemy general lies dead.
The first enemy general lies dead. And the beast slayers nearest him are broken and shaken. The death of Makar sends them into disarray. Utter disarray. They begin absolutely losing their minds to such a degree that the laws of physics no longer apply to them. And they corkscrew into the ground. First one, then two, then three. Not really sure why they do that, to be brutally honest with you. Cavalry, there is another task now that must be done. I know you are knackered.
Behold how our cowardly foe runs. It's time to press the attack.
But I need you to engage these beast slayers so the Dunedain can get in and do the real killing. Just keep walking at them, Dunedain. We don't need the...
very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
I'll pull the cavalry out. The Dunedain are here. 15 beast slayers remain. Now, don't forget, just in case you're unaware, Dunedain are outrageous in melee. As I noted the other day when we were fighting them as Dol Amroth. They have an 8 melee attack. That's really strong. They're really, really good swordsmen. Some other factions' elite units don't even do 8 melee damage. I mean, their armor is only 12. Their total defense is only 12, which is, in the grand scheme of the game, quite low. But for a unit that does 8 attack, 12 is certainly good enough to keep them going long enough to really kill lots of their opponents. And that is going to be true here. Now, Menthar himself is trapped a little way from his men. They're trapped upon the hill, looking down at him, as a circle of Dunedain surround him, knowing he is their target. The expert training of the Dunedain comes to the fore, but Menthar won't go down easily, and he takes a number of them with him. He's blocking quite well, even though he's facing the wrong way. But they've unsteadied him, and they charge him with the attack. 3 men, his arms are absolutely wilting under this savage blows. Chainmail of the Dunlendings is weak, but that of Isengard is strong. And Menthar is certainly in the favour of the White Hand. But the Dunedain outnumber him utterly. They are fresh. They are not weary. The Beast Slayers have been firing arrow after arrow.
The enemy general lies dead.
And Menthar dies.
Behold how our cowardly foe runs. It's time to press the attack.
We do not need any to survive this fight. Show these men the jails of Dun Lorak. Yagthak's great folly. As our absolutely exhausted cavalry comes in, but it may not be needed. It is not. The last man falls.
Awed by the victory we have won here today.
overlooking the absolute carnage from the hill above. The death site of Menthar is made. And the songs of Bree ring out. 1,394 noble farmers, husbands, brothers, fathers, all lost their lives this day. In the hills of Dunland, in the 2,998th year of the Third Age of Middle-earth, Bree wins an outrageous victory. And claiming the most honourable golden sword falls to the Dunedain Wardens, of all things. The Dunedain Rangers coming in third, even, at 184, behind Dwarven Travellers. My word, the Dwarves showing their mettle have taken down the second most kills. Nothing stands taller than the might of the Dwarves. The Dunedain and the Dwarves. That's just an absolutely damning indictment of the quality of Breland's troops, isn't it? That in one of our greatest battles,
Lord, our courage and honor
the 3 units of our 16, 17 unit strong army that gain the most kills are the 3 that we've got borrowed from other regions. Ah, Watchman's Guild. This is the Dunland dwindles. They want a trade agreement with the realm of Lothlorien. Well, I'm heading to the realm of Lothlorien.
Your order.
Leo the Gossip, what a title.
As you wish.
Is heading there
Stopping
now.
here.
Dunland Wither's message came when they went down to a single region. That's interesting. Now our army is beaten, battered and bruised. But the finest that we've got, we are going to pool into one strong army.
My lord.
Stan, build me a watchtower.
Erecting a watchtower.
Move down and
Yes.
erect another one.
Erecting a watchtower.
And have another one there,
As you
please.
wish.
Alright, to finish Dunland off, we are going to need the best. So,
Your will.
Your orders, my lord.
Orders. Orders. Your will, my lord. My lord.
Yes.
and
my
that
lord.
means Councilman Grep. Is that a crossing just there? No. So you're going to have to come out to meet our army. I'm not going to send you out there towards on your own. The army of Byrig, we will leave behind very little. 35 of you, 20 of you, you'll just die. 83 of you.
With honor. Assembling a mighty host.
Construct. It has 2 shadows. That's an error. It can't have 2 shadows. No wonder it's always looked a bit dodgy. That's what it is, isn't it? It's the 2 shadows. Unless there's artificial light, but there couldn't be artificial light of that strength in this time period. I'm thinking as well we could probably take the hunters from up here.
Your orders.
Although Councilman Grep's army's good enough.
Yes.
Move south, Grep.
With honor.
Cliff goes with you. Ah, Bree built a barracks, which lets us get our full roster of our elite units. Oh, I don't need a general. I thought he was a trainable unit then. Chuck some hunters in, some militia. Get a stables. Grep's Crossing got a grain exchange. And can also retrain. Ah, of course, we're all retraining because we've just got the Watchman's Guild. It's not growing at all. Oh, we don't need it to grow, do we? Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Oh, look at the retraining here. Good word. Good word? Not a word. Good lord. Chuck in a lumber camp. And then get the Traveller's Complex. That's our culture one. Right here, you're asking me, but Gallic, why can suddenly all of your archers retrain? Well, I'll tell you for why. Because of this building. The Watchman's Guild. Experience bonus for archers +2. Experience bonus for archers, a global effect, a +2. It means that across the board, any archers in any location can now gain experience. Oh, and we can train more Dunedain in Sackville. Yes, please. Many of these will need retraining once they've actually trained. You can surely get 2 free upkeep, can't you? Yeah. Gelton! Of course, Gelton. Righty-ho. The Barrow-Vin army, you don't need to stay in there either. You might as well start heading south. You've got Ed, haven't you? Yeah. What should we leave behind here? You've got a long time until you can train anything, really. Just 2 units of archers will do.
Yes.
Now, there is, wandering around somewhere, quite a large Dunlending army.
With honor, this tower will keep vigil over the land.
But with our 2 armies combined
Yes,
here,
my lord.
we should smash Dunland and be in a good position to really attack Isengard. Oh, God. When we go up against Isengard, it's just going to unravel. We are going to get annihilated. Our victory conditions are to hold Bree, to hold Yagthak's grave, to hold Khan Doom, and eliminate the Dunlendings and the remnants of Angmar, and hold 30 regions. Well, we have 17 regions. We only need 13 more, which isn't too bad. Angmar are still quite a ways from being deleted, but they are on the decline. Yeah, so that's good. And we don't actually have to attack Isengard if we don't want to, but of course we are going to. But for now, I'm going to end that there. So a glorious victory over the forces of Dunland sees Cliff join the Hall of Honour alongside Councilman Grep. Grep, of course, being our nation's finest hero. And very worthy of praise. But for the time being, he leads our army. And for that, we'll conclude. So tomorrow I hope to do a developer diary, and then we'll do 2 more of these videos, and who knows for next week. But until we speak again, dear friends, Navarna den Pedimad Melonin, and farewell.